Welcome to Open Portal Tarot's audio recording for the New Moon Tarot reading for September 13th, 2015. If you wish, you can follow along in the written script published in the post by the same name on the website openportaltarot.com. And now let's begin the reading. The question is, how does this new moon support the heart? The summary is, this new moon supports transitioning from logical life visioning to spontaneous life creation. This supports the heart's ability to be aligned with non-converging forces that are all beneficial to the self and others when those forces are in their positive poles. The cards in the spread are Trump 4, the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Now let's begin the interpretation. This new moon supports initiating work around issues related to the Seven of Swords. In this spread, the card stands between two diverging forces, Trump 4 and the Queen of Cups. Its relationship to those cards heightens the significance of the card. In the card's image, there's a central sword bearing the sun's symbol intercepted by 6 small swords bearing the symbols of the moon, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, and Saturn. As much as each of these planets offers gainful qualities, no gain in any direction that serves the heart's work can be made while the mind gropes in the dark for a path of progress that logically combines all these forces. Similarly, the mind gropes in the dark for the path of progress that logically combines the gifts inherent in Trump 4 and the Queen of Cups. Considering the two cards to the sides of the Seven of Swords and the question posed at the beginning of the reading does not so much indicate that it is useless to try to assimilate dissimilar gifts, as it indicates the limitations of mental processes in achieving the task. Even though the expression of all the planets represented in the image may draw heavily from skills and abilities which have engaged the mind, still, when those skills become channels for the flow of energy, it may be beyond the limits of the mind to orchestrate the activity. To the left of the central card is Trump 4, with its dominant red ruler sitting crowned on his throne. This image speaks of successfully tapping into a very grounded sense of I am. In that place of knowing, there's also a sense of untamed inspiration, adventure, courage, and advanced skills, like the rams, Aries equals Mars plus Sun, flanking the ruler's shoulders. It is a mastery to be acquainted with oneself to the extent that no other influence interferes with self-governance. A white light shines on the ruler from above, signifying an alignment with a greater consciousness. Just as the ruler's gaze is turned away from the central card, so also this card in spread creates tension that the mind has not yet reconciled. To the right of the central card is the Queen of Cups, who proposes an entirely different rulership in which mastery lies in the clarity with which one reflects others to themselves. In the image, the crescent moons symbolizing the intuitive and creative consciousness veil the queen mysteriously. She stands before water, which, in its tranquil state, captures her reflection beautifully. Having developed herself in a deep way, she now has a multitude of resources that can be engaged as necessary to reflect others' qualities to them. With that validation and acknowledgement, their gifts bloom and bear fruit. She is therefore a mother goddess, capable of nurturing the multitudes. So much is this queen a maternal image that she herself forms the image of a cup, as in the suit of cups where she reigns. Her body forms the stem, and the crescent moons crowning her are the bowl. She is an empty vessel, like the heart itself, into which the wine of life flows without effort from her. This selfless surrender to containing whatever waters that flow, or reflecting whatever visage that approaches, is the opposing force to Trump 4, which has a very concrete sense of personal gifts to express to the world. In the genre of children's poetry, there's a book by Shel Silverstein entitled Where the Sidewalk Ends. This is relevant to this spread because the task of expressing Trump 4 occupies time and energy in such a different way than the task of expressing the Queen of Cups that one becomes confused about how many involvements in the physical world one can undertake. This new moon supports the exploration at the end of the sidewalk of self-regulation as facilitated by mental processes. And now for a tidbit about shamanic practices. Shamanic practices include vision questing. In a vision quest, a guide may appear to assist the individual when he or she has reached the outer limits of known experience. Thus, there would be guidance into safe new experiences, which allows for the growth of consciousness and the expansion of the heart. The Ace of Wands in this spread appeared when a guide for the spread's work was requested of the Tarot. This new moon is still the spiritual force behind the work. Additionally, the Ace of Wands and its image of the Kabbalistic tree of life bursting with flames in the positions of the traditional sepirots can assist the actual method of moving from mentally processing plans and intentions to navigating non-convergent currents which are aligned with the heart's visions for its gifts. Use the image meditatively and therapeutically to discover how to raise levels of trust and surrender while allowing the heart's operations that are beyond the mind's radar to operate. This is the image that is the bone to throw to the barking dog of the mind, which starts to tremble and chatter when it does not know the outcome. And now, let us pray together to go forward with this spread. May the spiritual support of this new moon and the support of all desirable guides be welcome into the heart space. May the heart find companionship and food for its journey from them. May the high-impact gifts that the self has developed express themselves radiantly and accomplish the global service they are capable of in the world. May the inner reservoir of all facets of the human being continue to help fellow humans give birth to their life-changing gifts. May the walking of this path be simple and lit by an eternal light. May it be so for you, dear listener. May it be so for me. May it be so for all our loved ones and the people of this earth whose lives we touch. Blessings.